night has fallen here in Chicago. It is a mood, it is a vibe. Got the Cinestill all loaded up in the AE1. We're gonna hop on the L train, head down to Chinatown, and shoot most of the roll down there. So, back to Chinatown, here we come. That was a super fun roll to shoot there in Chinatown. I also shot a roll of Portra over the weekend, a roll of Kodak Gold, and a roll of Fuji Color 100. So we're going to go through all the frames, every single one from the Cinestill roll, and then we're going to go through select frames on the other rolls from the weekend. So let's jump right into kind of my take as we progress through the roll of Cinestill. The roll started in Chinatown and then progressed down to downtown Chicago, kind of as we went through the 36, 37 frames. So let's jump right into it. Frame number one here, this was our thumbnail image. We got some light leaks going on. This is cool. Again, it's a look that you're not going to really replicate on digital, but it does look pretty neat on film. Shot number two is similar, except we got the light leak on the other side. This shot's okay. Not my favorite. The framing is a little off with that light leak in there. Shot three, really like this one. I love the reflections, love the colors. Again, it's just got those really unique rendering of the reds and kind of the yellowish green hues. This one's really neat to me. This one is cool as well. We got a light leak in the upper left hand side. These two subjects are sharp and in focus, so I think this is a winner frame. This is one of my favorite vertical frames that I captured. I do really love to shoot a lot of horizontal stuff, but I think this worked in the vertical format. This was just more of a test to see how it would render the neon colors, and I think it did a good job. Obviously I missed focus, so this is not a keeper. This one's okay. I kind of do like what's going on in the scene. I like the way the brick wall looks kind of on the right side lit up. We got some light leaks coming down from the top. This one's alright. It's a little plain, a little boring, but it is kind of a cool shot. This one I love. This is all natural haze. As just an FYI, all these shots you're going to see are straight out of camera. No edits made at all to any of these film photos. Colors in this one are beautiful. The kind of hazy windows gives this a real nice effect, at least in my opinion. So this is definitely a keeper. Don't love this one. I definitely underexposed this, so it didn't really come out how I wanted. This one's kind of cool. I was trying to frame him up. I think I missed focus a little bit. Probably didn't capture the greatest moment. You can see it looks like he was going to take a cup of maybe coffee or tea in his hand and drink that. That would have been a better moment to capture versus this. This one, again, I don't love the framing on this. It's okay. I like the blue kind of glow on the street, but other than that, this one doesn't do much for me. The subject is too far away in the frame. This one here is a little bit underexposed, pretty grainy. Not a big fan of that one. You can see the Sears Tower way in the distance there. The nice leading lines of this, the kind of halation effect on those lights does look neat. Again, not a big fan of what's going on in this frame though. Same with this. This is a throwaway. This was a cool spot. The next photo is going to be a little bit cooler. This one is underexposed again, and I'm too far away from the scene. This one is really cool to me. I really like what's going on. We got those nice sharp shadows, good contrast, good color tones. I am a fan of this one overall. Same here. I thought this was going to turn out really cool. I probably needed to overexpose this a little bit more than I did. This one's neat. So I kind of walked past this window, saw this guy in there, like, oh, that's kind of neat. I kind of nodded at him, got his attention, and he gave me a thumbs up, so I went ahead and snapped the frame. I love the lights in the top of the frame and then the reflections near him. This one's just pretty neat. I like the expression on his face as well. This one came out fire. I'm a big fan of this. Love the framing. This is through a window again, so you got those reflections kind of going this way. And then this is almost giving me like a Wheel of Fortune vibe, but the light reflections on it, the neon, looks really neat. Now we're kind of moved into the downtown area. There's a subway kind of passing up here. I'm too far away to really capture it well. This one is absolute cash money, no pun intended, pay here. This is pretty cool. So it's one of those pay for a parking lot space type areas, but again, no edits to any of these, and I just couldn't be more happy with how these colors came out. Nothing more to say, that's just heater. This one is underexposed. Kind of a cool scene, but again, underexposed it. This is the camera store I went in. If you saw my previous vlog, check it out right up here. Make sure you go watch that one. I went into this camera store and bought some rolls of film. Really neat place, a lot of different selection of film. I stood here for probably 7 or 8 minutes waiting for this one to happen. Probably wasn't worth it in hindsight. The people kind of walking up the stairs are too far to the right. If they were more to the left, it would have looked pretty cool. This one's neat. I actually hit focus on this. I like the way it renders those blues, kind of the expression on his face, maybe a long day, he's getting ready to commute back home. I don't know. This one just works in my opinion. Portrait of my dad here. Again, that bokeh is looking really crispy. It's just got that natural kind of grainy look that film does. This one is starting to grow on me the more I see it. I like the way the building looks with all that glass and kind of those bronze tones. A little bit of aqua coming in on the left side. This one's alright. I don't know. I mean, I see there's motion blur, which is kind of cool. I don't like the car on the left-hand side. It makes the framing feel kind of awkward. This is really cool. So story behind this one and the next couple, I believe. I was kind of pointing down an entrance to a subway station. This one I just kind of held up and just fired it. And when I took it, I thought, oh man, I way overexposed it. But looking at it here, obviously it is overexposed, but that's what you want to do with film. I'm a fan of this one. I really like the colors on it. This one here, you can see this is a different alternative photo. This is underexposed, so it does make that Washington sign look cool, but the subject is just kind of blend into the background. Not much to say here. This is pretty boring. Again, not my favorite frame, but I just wanted to take it and kind of see how it render out those colors. It looks pretty cool. This one's bad. It's poor framing. The subject doesn't stand out at all. This was just more of one of those shots. I just fired it to fire it. This is really grainy. Probably needed another stop of exposure to make it turn out. But again, it's kind of a cool spot with what's going on. This one was pretty cool. We got nice leading lines, nice colors leading us to the subject. If you're watching this on a bigger monitor, you can probably tell there's a subject down there. On a phone screen, it kind of all just blends together, but pretty cool frame. Another one, I don't know. The favorite thing about this, I don't know what these are. There's like these blue lightning bolts in the bottom of the frame. If anybody shot some of this film and knows what those are, let me know, because I don't know why these are there or what they came from, but they look kind of cool. This one here, this is a neat scene. I like this one. We got an old like Mercury or Lincoln car here with some, again, the classic Chicago leading lines with those lights. So I think that's the last shot of the roll it is. So that kind of wraps up the Cinestill. I really enjoyed shooting it. Still have a roll of it sitting in my refrigerator to shoot some other time here. Probably more around town, but I figured it was going to be a fun film stock to shoot, and boy, I was not disappointed one bit. Well, let's look at some of the Fuji Color shots I took in Chinatown on the first morning of the trip. First photo here, I know it's just a picture of some trash in a trash can, but I like it because we got like a box. Almost just looks like this box held all these contents of trash and just spilling them out. Obviously that's not what happened, but it does give it that effect, so I think that one's pretty cool. This guy was just smiling at the camera. It was a pretty cool frame. It's mostly in focus, I believe. On this one, again, I need to kind of lower myself down more to get the framing right, but I was just trying to fire it off real quick without anybody noticing. This one I really like. The way the Fuji Color rendered these colors, these look really good. I like the kind of tree branches up top framing us. This one's neat. Again, I need to frame this a little bit better, but it was just kind of a spray and pray shot. I do like the cigarette smoke kind of wisping up into the air. That does look neat. Not much really to add here. Okay at best. We're going to move on to the roll of Portrait 400 now. I've got a few frames to show from that. This one, we walked out of the hotel, and I just fired this one off within probably 30 seconds of walking out the hotel. I like it. Pretty cool. The blue and pink colors look pretty neat. I like the background. This is like an accidental double exposure, so again, I really don't know how this occurred, but it looks like I somehow double exposed this image. Not sure how that's even possible. I was just shooting it normally and advancing after each shot, so I don't really know how this happened, but I kind of like it. This one is probably one of my favorites from this whole roll of Portrait. It just gives me some vibes. Like, you got the kind of grunge on the outer sides of the frame with like the graffiti and the like the concrete. Got that red pole running through the middle, and then you have like a car with the front bumper missing, and then you got just like newspaper strewn all over the ground. I don't know, it feels kind of apocalyptic, but I really like the way it looks. It's a cool frame in my opinion. This is Chicago. I've never been to New York, but this just feels like a New York City frame to me for whatever reason. I like the depth of field, like the framing. Big fan of this. The colors, the lighting, really nice. Took a portrait of this guy. He was nice enough to let me fire off a couple shots of him. This is just cool. Super nice guy. And then I got this shot of him. This is probably my favorite on the roll of portrait. Took this candid of him walking away from us. Love how you got, I got the lines dead straight. I mean, I framed this pretty much exactly how I'd want to. You got the tree coming in on the left. You got some of that signage in the top left. And then you got the street name on the top right. Really cool frame. Love the way the lighting on his hat looks. This is a keeper for sure. All right, we got a couple on a roll of Kodak Gold 200 ISO. Pretty boring shot here, but I don't know. I like the guy on the right-hand side. I think he makes this image work. This was underground, so I was handheld on this at 200 ISO. Probably I was at f1.8 or 2.8 at probably 1/60th of a second. So I think I held it steady enough. Kind of cool frame with the bicycle down there. Colors look really good. This one's neat. I really like the emptiness of this. Intentionally shot it when there was nobody there just because it made it feel kind of empty and isolated, which I do enjoy the look of. This is not totally in focus and I messed up the framing a little bit, but it was one of those frames that happened just like that. Love his jacket. Love the red sunglasses to match. He's got the newspaper in his hand. I think it even says Chicago Tribune on the front of it. I don't know, this just has a certain mood to me, a certain feeling, and I like it. This is almost a little part of a photo set around the subway itself. Again, those reds look nice, cool reflections out the window from inside the subway. And then to kind of round out the set, we got this guy walking down the stairs. Probably would have ideally liked to have a little bit more depth of field or shoot it with him maybe a little bit closer to me to kind of isolate him a little bit more. But it's kind of cool. Just a standard Chicago shot of the Sears Tower. Or is this the Hancock Tower? I don't know which one this is. Either way, kind of boring, but it does look nice. The sky was really blue. Kind of staple Chicago shot here, but I do like the way Kodak Gold kind of rendered out those buildings on the right. It does have kind of a yellowish gold hue, which I'm a big fan of, no doubt. Same with this one. This is tack sharp. This is probably like f11 or f16. It's pretty sharp corner to corner. Kind of a cool frame again. So that kind of round out the film review of the trip. Sorry guys, this one got a little lengthy, but I wanted to show you a bunch of frames. That's the idea of these videos. I'm really enjoying film. I'm probably going to shoot quite a bit more of it. The whole process is fun to me, from shooting it, the manual focus, getting the exposure right in camera, to getting it developed and seeing those files come back on the computer, those scans. It's a really fun analog process to me and I enjoy it. We'll be shooting more of it. So which photos did you like from this vlog? I want you guys to let me know. And then follow me over on Instagram at Eli Beaverson Visuals so you can see some of these when they're posted over there. My account is pretty much only digital at this point, but I'm going to be posting some film photos over there just because I'm enjoying it so much. So thanks guys, stay tuned, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more, and I will see you guys in my next video.